Okay, welcome to the Wednesday Night Coaches Show. We will have the Ed Orgeron Show on in progress, audio only. So we're going to begin right now. We'll have scoreboard updates throughout the broadcast. So let me go ahead and put the Ed Orgeron Show in.
Brings with it more storylines than a usual in-state meeting. We'll cover all of that tonight before we are through. We'll also look back to last week, discuss the lessons learned, as well as the work this week to correct those mistakes from the first game of the season. And as always, if you're able to do so, we invite you to be part of the show. You can dial us up, 578-4827 in Baton Rouge, toll free from anywhere, 1-800-315-8255. You can tweet us a question live via Twitter at LSU Radio, and we'll even take questions with the LSU Sports mobile app. So for the next hour, we are talking LSU Fighting Tiger football, so don't go anywhere. Coach O going to join us next after this quick break on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, the LSU Coaches Show will return in just a few moments here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Also, if you want to come in video chat with us, we will send those links out. The links are sent out for anybody who wants to video chat with us during the show. So we'll go ahead and give you a scoreboard update. So we're going to do that momentarily. Let me go ahead and send this over to Facebook so you'll be able to get the thing. So let me set this up for you. Okay, we're going to go over some sports news. Let's go ahead and do that while we wait. So I'm going to switch this over and we'll send it back to the LSU Coaches Show in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's give you an update. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a Major League Baseball scoreboard update. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, Major League games going on tonight. Going on in this hour. So let's give you those updates. Okay, once again, Minnesota on top 2-0, top of the 8th. Bottom of the 5th, Detroit on top 4-1. Also, Miami on top 1-0. That's in the top of the 5th. Also, in the top of the 4th, Kansas City on top 2-0. Yankees and Blue Jays scoreless. Red Sox and Rays scoreless going to the 4th. Also, the Nationals on top 1-0. Cubs on top 1-0, bottom 2. Also, bottom 1, tied up at 1, Milwaukee and Philadelphia. St. Louis and LA tied up at 1. That's the Dodgers. Also, other games from today, Mariners winning 8-5. Giants winning 7-4. And also, Rangers winning 8-5. Other games tonight, Padres and Angels, and also White Sox and A's. So White Sox and A's. So that will be going on in just a few moments. So thank you for joining us here tonight. So we'll get back to Ed Orgeron.
Tiger fans get at LSUshop.net. Third down, goal to go from the 3. Scoreless game, 12:40 to go in the first half. Snap back to Johnson, looking to throw, has time, fires, caught, Butte has it, touchdown, Tigers! LSU cracks the scoreboard to make it 6-0 with 12:34 to go in the second quarter.
Back with more on the Ed Orgeron Show, live from TJ Ribs in Baton Rouge. Call in with a question, 225-578-4827 in Baton Rouge. Toll free from anywhere, 1-800-315-8255. Or tweet us live at LSU Radio. The Ed Orgeron Show on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Back here at TJ Ribs this Wednesday night, headed towards the home opener this Saturday. The Tigers hosting McNeese State. Kickoff just after 7 o'clock on a Saturday night in Death Valley. Tiger fans, all LSU Sports Radio Network broadcasts stream for free at lsusports.net. You can listen live on your phone. You can download the new LSU Sports mobile app presented by BASF. It's a free download in the iTunes Store or Google Play. The LSU Sports mobile app presented by BASF. We create chemistry. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome to the show our head football coach, Ed Orgeron.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks to all our great guests in here. I appreciate your loyalty. I know our fans are upset. That's why I love them so much. The expectation at LSU are very high. We did not live up to it. I want up to it. I got to coach this team better. We're going to start this week. This Saturday, McNeese State comes to town. I hope we have a full crowd, a big Tiger walk. A lot of players are going to be their first time at LSU Stadium in Death Valley. We're looking forward to a great crowd and looking forward to a great game against McNeese.
Coach, it's always great to visit with you, and it's really good to have you back here in Baton Rouge. I know last week you were nice enough to join us as the team was in Houston. And this show, it occurred to me today, really not the first time, that, it comes at a tough part of the week because we're trying to recap last week. You guys obviously talked about it on To Tell the Truth Monday. You've moved on. We're on the backside headed towards this weekend and week number 2. But how was Tell the Truth? How was that session with the guys and the staff?
Well, first of all, Sunday we spent 8 hours on the film. I think 4 hours with defense and 4 hours with offense, myself and the staff. And we identified what went wrong. And we identified where we could have coached them better. And there was a lot of areas we need to coach them better. And there are some areas where our players need to play better. And there was a combination of both. But like I told them, I said, listen, this is my responsibility. I got to get y'all ready. And we had to tell the truth money. We looked at the good, the bad. We made the corrections, and we moved on.
I know that the team arrived back here in Baton Rouge about sunrise on Sunday. And as you said, you guys got quick to work in breaking down film. How have the guys approached, the team, how have they approached this week's work? I mean, the sweat, the grit to get better and try to avoid having a hangover from last week's game.
Well, it started with a great leadership. And I got in the locker room, Devon Clark and Andre had the team already huddled up in the locker room before I get to talk to them. And they were talking about the things that we're going to do. We're going to get better. Everybody's going to hold their head up. We'll take accountability and move forward. I really do believe this is a good football team. I believe we have a great season.
It's awfully easy for us, especially in the media, Coach, following a loss to say, well, the team lost its focus. It lost its unity. It lost its hunger. And I know earlier this week in your press conference, you said that couldn't be farther from the truth. What tells you the guys are still hyper-focused and willing to push each other and together to get better?
Well, first of all, we leave on Saturday night at 10 o'clock. We get to Houston at, I think, 6 in the morning. It's supposed to take us 5 hours. It took us 10, whatever hours to get there. Our guys slept. They were early to every meeting. They worked their tail off. Everybody's at curfew at 11 o'clock. Everybody was focused. There was a lot of energy before the game. There was a lot of 1-2. There was nothing that told me that the team was not focused. And then we come back. We've had some great practice. We just had one of our best practices today. We have tremendous leadership. So everything around football team is headed in a positive direction as far as morale, as far as leadership.
All right, fans, don't forget the hotline is open, 225-578-4827. If you'd like to talk with Coach, if you're in Baton Rouge, if you're listening anywhere tonight, 1-800-315-8255. Let's go out to the phone lines. And for the first time on the season, we got Fritzy. Fritzy calling in. Fritzy, how you been?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Coach O.
Hey, Fritzy, miss you.
Miss you too, Coach O. Coach O, unlike some of these wannabe sports commentators, I know that one game does not make the season. Now, Saturday, Coach O, I always tell it straight, okay? Saturday, when Cody got the ball, I got to pull for Cody. But when the Tigers got the ball, I'm going to pull for my Tigers. But at the end of the night, Coach O, one Orgeron is going to be real happy, and the other Orgeron is going to be just as happy because we are a family, and the Tigers are going to have one hell of a season, and anybody who don't believe that don't know jack about you, Coach O.
Thank you. Hey, Fritzy, you're the best.
Thanks, Fritzy, for the call. Again, if you're out there, we've got the phone lines open. A couple of calls to get to before we go to our next break. We got John calling in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. John, you're on with Coach O.
Awesome. How are you guys?
Great.
All right. I have a two-parter. The first one is that there's still getting shredded on crossing routes, and Coach to acknowledge it after the game. But why do we keep running man coverage against Nick over and over again? It just doesn't work. And then the second part, UCLA was forced in pulls, outside zones, counter their type of runs, and they were pulling the tight end. And while we're just not going to over. And they're running motion to get our linebackers high, like up on the run. So what kind of adjustment can we expect that?
I've heard man coverage, and I've heard it pulling. You kind of cut up a little bit. I think I know what you're talking about. And we play a match zone. That's not only man coverage. We play a match zone, but in essence, the tight end on the crossing route, whoever had the tight end has to carry him across the field. And he got a key that told him a little bit different. He got mixed up with his key, and that's what happened. As far as the counters and all that stuff, we worked on that stuff. We not only played man, we played some zone. We should have worked a little bit more. That was one thing that I wish I'd have planned a little bit better for our football team and showed them, especially that 12 personnel counter OT that they ran to the tight end side. We did not see that enough.
Thanks, John, for listening. Thanks for calling in from Philadelphia. Fans, Revelry and LSU Athletics bring you the 2-minute turnkey tailgate. You choose your game, choose your add-ons, and show up on game day and tailgate like a champion. You can reserve yours today at revelryteam.com. That's REVELRY team.com. Much more to get to tonight. Phone calls to get to, a couple of questions from the mobile app, and we'll check the Twitterverse. Stay with us. It's the Ed Orgeron Show, live from TJ Ribs here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, the Ed Orgeron Show will return in just a few moments here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We will have coaches shows on a week-by-week basis. We'll have the Saints coaches show on Monday nights. We'll also have the LSU coaches show on Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll have LSU coaches show, and also we'll have Tulane coaches show that most likely will be podcasts. So we will have that for you throughout the season. So once again, please like, share, and follow us. We'll get back to more news. Like, share, follow us on Facebook. Like, share, and follow us on Twitter. Twitterverse. Also, you can like, share, and follow us on YouTube. So we're the three channels: YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can give us a follow. That'd be highly appreciated. Also, you can follow us on Instagram. So let's go ahead and give you some more updates in the sports world. So I'm going to go ahead and go through some news. Okay, once again, Derek Jeter enshrined into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So that's going on as we speak. So that came out at 5:19 Central Time. Once again, Jeter in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So this is from ESPN.com. So we'll see what else we'll give you. Okay, next one. Okay, recovering Tiger Woods won't beat Steven Sticker at the Ryder Cup. So it looks like what they're saying. This is from Bob Haybrig. You can follow him at ESPN. That's ESPN.com. And we'll get back to the LSU Sports Radio Network for the Ed Orgeron Show. That will be coming up momentarily. We'll have Sports Talk tomorrow, and where we preview Southeastern. Also, Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby sidelined for at least 6 weeks. So it looks like he is not going to be playing when the season begins in the NHL. So we'll come back to sports headlines. So let me switch it back into the Ed Orgeron Show, presented by the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Waiter app and place an order with promo code Tigers21 for free game day delivery. Every order earns a chance to win Waiter food credit, signed merch, Tiger tickets, and more. Order now with promo code Tigers21 and get the win with Waiter. Waiter, you relax, we deliver.
Amen.
Pocket collapses, and he'll be brought down. Big loss. Back at the 46-yard line. As that time LSU just caved in the offensive front. Ali Gay leads the way, picks up a sack, his first of the year.
The very latest on the Fighting Tigers. Call in to talk with Coach O at 225-578-4827 in Baton Rouge. Toll free from anywhere. 1-800-315-8255. Or tweet us live at LSU Radio. This is the Ed Orgeron Show. Live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
One thing is for sure, this Saturday with a home opener, you better believe there'll be a lot of Tiger fans bring some flavor to their game day with Tabasco hot sauce. Go Tigers and go Tabasco, the official hot sauce of LSU Athletics. We are here tonight at TJ Ribs, legendary Louisiana barbecue, home of the Ed Ogeron Show, the official barbecue restaurant of LSU Athletics, and the presenting sponsor of Tiger One Village. It is back. It'll be there this Saturday. Of course, here at TJ Ribs, they've got every game all the time, to-go tailgate packages, and event catering. Located where we come every Wednesday night, Acadian Thruway, Siegen Lane, and Airline in Prairieville. You can visit them online at tjribs.com. Coach, want to go out to the LSU Sports mobile app presented by BASF. We've got Kevin, a Tiger fan in Valrico, Florida, wanting to know, moving forward after the loss, how will you motivate the guys to live beyond this and still get them ready for SEC play?
Well, we're doing it one day at a time. We had Tell the Truth Monday. We dealt with it. We moved forward. But we treat all our opponents with respect. We've had 2 great practices. We played at home in Death Valley. We're excited about this weekend. Can't wait to play.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Again, they are open tonight. If you have a question for the coach, we'll go to Ricky, a longtime caller from Birmingham. Ricky, you're on with Coach O.
Coach, the 2019 game ran tempo and dictated the flow of the game. Not only did we not run tempo against UCLA, there were several times we barely got the playoff. Why is that, and how are we going to fix it?
I think, Ricky, you bring up a good point. I think that's something that we got to get used to being together. Jake, myself, and the quarterback. There was a lot of times I thought I was going to have to call timeout because we were using lookovers and we decided what play to run. So we need to run more tempo. We need to attack more, and we practiced that this week. So you bring up a good point. We need to do it more.
Coach, going back to last Saturday in that opening game, not a total surprise, but unfortunately the offense, as you talked about at halftime, missed a few opportunities early. Looked like, at least from my standpoint from the booth, maybe some first game jitters, some guys on that type of stage and that type of atmosphere in their collegiate careers. But what was the conversation like on the sideline and to the booth early on in the first half, offensively, even up to halftime, about trying to get them in a groove?
Well, we started fast. We started with short, easy throws, making some plays down the field. Then they started blitzing us. We did not protect the quarterback well. I think that we could have used a better protection system. Our receivers were open. We just couldn't get to them. And we need to run the football. We didn't have enough variety of runs, enough formations. One fan just told me, Coach, you got a motion. I agree with you. So we addressed all those things this week. You're going to see a change in our offense Saturday night.
I asked you last week, we talked about it, if you expected that type of pressure from UCLA. We talked about, I watched the game against Hawaii, but you guys had looked at film for the last couple of years and said, that's what we can expect. Was there anything that surprised you about the pressure you saw on Saturday?
John Robinson, who works with me, came to me in the middle of summer. He said, Coach, we have to simulate their pressure. So we worked hard on their pressures. And there was a couple of times where we slid the line. We thought the pressure was coming one way, and it came the other way, and they got it. So we got to give it to them. They out-coached us in that, and I got to take responsibility for that.
First quarter, no score. Then there, with a little over 12 minutes to go, LSU works the ball down the field, an impressive drive, 8 plays, 63 yards. You take a 7-0 Tiger lead. And I know you've talked about it many times, red zone offense, so critical. And after you tried to punch it in on the ground the first couple of tries, still you had a short field to work with. You guys go to the passing game. Your thoughts on the way you guys handled being in that tight phone booth, throwing the football?
Well, we practiced the red zone a bunch. And in 2019, we were great at it. We were number 1 in the country in all those areas, and we need to improve that. But I wish we would have ran the ball. I don't think we should have threw the ball 3 times. We got behind on the chains, but we need to get our running game going so we stay ahead of the chains.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Bill calling in. Bill, you're on with Coach O.
Hi, well, hey, Coach. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Bill, how you doing from the hurricane?
I'm doing all right. Kay and I are in Longview, Texas now. We evacuated to Arlington, and I made a round trip home Saturday since we were a little closer, moving to Longview on Friday. And I got to say something to Chris real quick here. I know that we may have had some differences at TJ Ribs in the past seasons, but I got to say something, Chris. I think you called one hell of a fine baseball game. And because when the rap thinks that ESPN wouldn't show the Tigers in that Oregon regional back in early June, I think was that I listened to the broadcast and it was like being in the ballpark. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Bill. Thank you for the kind words. What do you got for Coach O?
And, well, for Coach, I tell you what, my friend, I'm still buddies with you, Coach, but I was very disappointed. And primary reason is, you see, a friend of mine from school a long time ago, he went to UCLA after we went through this military junior college together, and I came back home to finish up being a Tiger, right? And he told me something a couple of months ago that they were going to wipe the field with us, and not that politely. So this past Sunday in the Zoom meeting, I had to say he told me so. Coach, do we even have a game plan? That's my question, because it looked to me now I could hear part of Chris's broadcast on the way back, and then I lost the FM, and I had to go to Sirius XM, and they were using the UCLA guys. Now, these guys were talking pretty good football about the game, severely biased for UCLA, and it was just that I noticed the same things. I got home to see about the last 8-10 minutes of the fourth quarter in the hotel, and it looked like the defense was coming off the line too high, and they were reacting. UCLA used a motion, and they would run the same way. When they went in motion, they would run the same way that came from. And it's like on offense, they were making comments, and I saw it. I know this was only Max's third start, so I'm taking it kind of easy on him.
All right, Bill, you got a question? We got to wrap it up. We got more people to get to here.
So, Coach, I guess I'm going into. Please tell me we got a game plan. I expect better.
Hey, I know you're disappointed. That's why I love our fans, and understand your disappointment.
All right, Bill, thanks for the call. Let's go to Steven real quick. He's here in Baton Rouge, wants to talk about the running game a little bit. Steven, you're on with Coach O.
I'm going to be a lot easier on you, Coach. I'm a big John Embry fan, and
Yeah.
I was disappointed not to get to see him on last Saturday. I was really hoping that we can see him soon. And then I have one other quick question for you. Will you comment on what do you expect from our offensive line and defensive line this Saturday against McNeese? And I'll hang up and listen.
Well, first of all, I love John. I think he's a great young man, a great player. We found out Friday morning that he was unavailable to play, and he's still unavailable to play right now. And, that's just the way it is. So we had to deal with it. And we need to play better. We need to be more physical. I thought our defensive ends did a good job rushing the passer. I thought our tackles did not play very well, and they got blocked. There were a lot of their gaps. And I think our offensive line has sometimes made some good plays, but we need to be more physical. We need to come out off the ball, and we need to have more of a variety of the run game.
All right, thanks for the call. Fans, the Whataburger Junior Broadcaster Program this season will give Tiger fans between the ages of 6 and 12 the opportunity to be interviewed by the LSU Sports Radio Network, give their thoughts on the game on LSU Game Day. So to enter your child, all you have to do, download the LSU Sports mobile app, click on the Whataburger Junior Broadcaster ad, and hit the like button for your chance to win. Winners will also receive 4 tickets to the next Tigers home game. We'll continue with more with Coach Ed Ogeron. It's the Ed Ogeron Show, and it's right here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, the Ed Ogeron Show will return in just a few moments here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We all, once again, we all live. We'll be live again tomorrow, Sports Talk. Also this weekend, high school football. We will be live on the air for Friday Night High School Football Show. We'll have the simulcast and game reports from reporters across the state. So we also will have scoreboard updates and stuff like that. So if you're interested in high school football, you can listen to the High School Football Show this Friday night here on, once again, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's get back to, let's see what's happening in the sports world and sports. See if I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to see what's happening with the, I'm trying to check. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can switch this out. There it is. Okay, let's go back to some news articles. Okay. Kyle Shanahan remains coy on choices of Jimmy Garoppolo. Indicated it's official. Looks like Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starting quarterback for the 49ers when they play this Sunday. So that was a pretty valid choice over Trey Lance, but it is what it is. He is a veteran, so I think it's a very wise and honest choice. So once again, this is from ESPN. Let's see what else we have to discuss. And then we'll return it to the Ed Orgeron Show in just a few moments. Okay, Mercer Bears on deck. Alabama coach Nick Saban questions the number one tie to maintain its stability. I think, to be honest with you, I say this. Look, Alabama, they're going to have some tough games when it comes down to it. I mean, this team, Mercer, might not be the one that's going to beat Alabama, but down the road, somebody is going to definitely beat Alabama. So I look at it this way. Look, they complain. They don't have a very tough schedule. They have a very easy schedule when they scheduling FCS opponents. So look, I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, well, they have a tough schedule and all that." No, that's not the case. They have a tough. If they had a tough schedule, they would be playing teams like Texas. They would be playing teams like Ohio State in those games. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. And once again, we'll return to the LSU Sports Radio Network for the Ed Orgeron Show in just a few moments. So let's go over just a few headlines. So I'm going to put this in. Okay, Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold assists. New York and Carolina game. It's about outdooring each other. So it looks like that's probably going to be the case for the for both teams. Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson, the quarterback for the New York Jets. So it's going to be a pretty good game, to be honest with you, to start off with. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with Zach Wilson in his first year in the NFL. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. We'll return to the LSU Sports Radio Network for the Ed Orgeron Show.
4827 in Baton Rouge. Toll free from anywhere. 1-800-315-8255. Or tweet us live at LSU Radio. This is the Ed Orgeron Show. Live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hanging out with Coach O on a Wednesday night. It's the Ed Orgeron Show, where we come to you each and every week of the season at 7 p.m. this coming Saturday. Home opener for the Tigers at legendary Tiger Stadium. 7 o'clock, it'll be McNeese State rolling into town. Fans, LSU Athletics want to remind you, be ready to go for all games in Tiger Stadium this season, and that means bring your tickets, and it also means bring your proof of vaccination or negative COVID-19 PCR test. So don't forget to visit lsusports.net/game day or lsusports.net/COVID-19 and make sure you are ready to go in 2021. Coach, we're going to turn the page, I promise, here in just a little bit, but I got to believe going into the game last week and early on, you wanted to have success running the football in hopes of possibly hitting a big play on the ground and eventually forcing the Bruins to have to back up, play cover a little bit. Maybe the most disappointing, listening to you after the game, you talked about it. You said, hey, the Tigers only able to rush for 49 yards in the game, and those 49 were tough to come by.
Yeah, that's not LSU football. That's not in our DNA. It's not what we want to be. We need to make improvement. Now, got to give credit to them. They had some good blitzes. They had some good stunts that stopped our run. But we got to do a better job of game planning, get outside. We need to do a better job of checking against the blitzes that we saw. Sometimes we ran straight into the blitzes. Sometimes we ran straight into stunts, and they became negative plays for offense.
I know you've said it many times before. You want to avoid, if possible, max protection in the passing game. And I believe you touched on it a little bit Monday in your press conference. What did you challenge this week? I mean, everybody involved with the offense to try to be able to withstand any team that maybe down the road is going to bring 6 or 7 guys to be able to still operate and have your running back and tight end not back there to protect the passer.
Well, it's on tape. It's on tape. You zero blitz LSU, you're going to get to the quarterback. So we have to change our protection. We made some changes in our protection. We love to have 5 wides in a game, 4 wides in a game. We love to get our back out and use a 5-man protection, but it just didn't work. And that's what we did most of the time in 2019. We're going to have to switch it up. We're going to have to go back to protect, but that means less athletes on the field, but we've got to protect our quarterback first.
You talked about yesterday in the press conference, and then I listened to Max Johnson, who spoke to the media earlier today, about what he has to improve on. And, he showed a lot of maturity today. He said sometimes when the pocket got tight, he had room to step up because the walls were around him, but at times he backpedaled deeper and had to make harder throws. He said sometimes instead of just drifting out there, he wanted to be more decisive, find that blocker that's protecting him, step up, use that arm to find his talented teammates. Your overall assessment when breaking down the film of your quarterback's play last week?
Inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Did not play as well as he played last year against Florida, against Ole Miss. I thought the guy was lights out. It was fantastic. I don't know if he was nervous, but I think there's a lot of pressure on him. I can't blame him for it. You saw it. Trey Palmer was wide open. He threw the ball in the dirt. There were some bad throws. I mean, it's just he needs to make those throws. Maybe we have too much on his plate. Maybe we need to change some stuff around, take some stuff off his plate, do some things that he can do better. I think Max is a great quarterback, but he's got to improve, and he knows it.
Let's go out to the Big D. Patrick calling in tonight. Patrick, you're on with Coach O.
Thank you for taking my call. Can you hear me, Chris?
We got you loud and clear.
Thank you. I watched the game. First, I watched the Tulane game. Then I watched the Alabama game, and I was impressed with both of those teams, and I was looking forward to our game. Now, all fairness, I'm a Tiger Athletic Club member. I happily pay my dues. When the board of supervisors call me, I pay. So I want to get something off my chest. When I watch LSU games, I want to see excellence. I want to see blocking. I want to see tackling. I want to see wins. I want to see players who perform like 4 stars and 5 stars that we recruit. So I want them to go on and have good careers in the NFL, which makes our recruiting even more easier. I want to see excellence. I don't want excuses. Let me first and foremost say I don't want Coach O to go anywhere. Anybody hearing my voice? I've heard all the reports of him being on the hot seat. The hell with being on the hot seat. I don't want you to go anywhere, Coach.
You're the man.
I want you to win.
You're the man.
I want you to win, Coach.
Thank you.
At the same token, I don't want to lose another game, Coach. I want to see us win, and I want to see us win big, and I want to see all the assignments made. So what you got to say about that, and assure people like me all over this country that you're the man for the job and you got it under control, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All the things you said is the things we strive for. And listen, I'm the most disappointed guy in the country the way we played. It falls on my shoulders. I need to do a better job of preparing the football team. There's some things that I know we can fix. It's not about talent. It's not about 1-2. We have the talent. We have the quarterback. We have the people to be great. And we're going to strive to be great. I just need to do a better job of coaching this team, and it all falls on me.
Patrick, thank you for your passionate call. Again, fans, the phone lines are open. Coach, I wanted to talk a little bit about the offensive line because I know, that we do this show on Wednesday. You get to talk a lot about the previous week, Monday, and again this morning on the SEC teleconference. But the offensive line, we saw a lot of rotation in the game. Is that something you were prepared to do, had to do, and if you had your druthers, that wasn't what you wanted to do?
We like to stay consistent and play the best 5, but there were some times that guys had to come out the game. There were some inconsistencies. We had to fix some things. Guys were getting minor injuries, minor bumps and bruises. Some played with minor bumps and bruises. Austin Deckles and Cam Wire were not played this week, so we have to play some 2 young tackles. So it's a combination of both. But let me tell you something. I believe in our offensive line. We won a lot of games with those guys. We're going to get better.
All right, fans, we got much more to get to. We got a couple of phone calls to get to. We'll get it on the other side of this break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the matchup this week, find out a little bit about McNeese State, and continue to talk about the preparation for the Tigers. So stay with us. It's the Ed Ogeron Show. We are live from TJ Ribs in beautiful Baton Rouge, and we'll be back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, the Ed Ogeron Show will return in just a few moments. So we will go ahead and go back over to ESPN and give you some more news updates that we've been doing throughout the broadcast. So this is going to be every time throughout the broadcast, we'll give you news and scores and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and give you what's going on in the okay, amongst a lot of unknowns, Aaron Rodgers prepares to begin for his 17th season. He will play the Saints this Sunday. So, like I said, they had a lot of doubts that he was going to come back. But the truth of the matter is he is back for his 17th season. So, I think he's going to be a definite Hall of Famer one of these days when it comes down to it. So, look, he's going to play. He's going to play the same. He's going to be the same Aaron Rodgers that you came to know. I mean, but like I said, look, he had some issues with the organization, but I think, like I said, he just ironed those grievances off. So I look at it this way: he's gonna be fine. I mean, a lot of social media people is going to be just ragging on him, saying why he wants to leave Green Bay and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, he will be remaining Green Bay. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So let's see what else we have. Boyer, you have any questions or comments? Please post them in the comment section. Also, if you want to video chat with us, you can also go through the StreamYard links. That'll be the in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Okay, the NCAA expands the College World Series by 2 days to ease game congestion, give more players time to rest. So it's going. Will expand to a 9-day event. That was announced on Wednesday. So I think absolutely, I think it's a good idea to expand the Women's College World Series to 9 days, because look, a lot of those young ladies are playing games and are definitely going to be burnt out by, like I said, playing a minimum amount of game. But the 9-day event, I think it's perfect. It helps out their situation. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com for more information. And let's see what else we will discuss. Okay, let's see what else we will discuss here on tonight's show. Okay, let's see. Trubisky, 17-0 realistic goal for Tom Brady and the Bucs. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't, because look, they might go win 13 games this year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm not saying they can't do it. They got the talent to do it with Tom Brady and and his weapons and stuff like that. So I look at it this way: 17-0, sure. A lot of things have to go well in order for that to happen. Number one, you can't have injuries. That's the main concern. It's injuries. Number two is the offense, how the offense clicks, and also the defense, how the defense clicks as well. So once again, we'll return to the LSU Sports Radio Network for the Ed Ogeron Show. Let me go ahead and switch this back in.
And certainly in Saturday's game.
Well, it's definitely DeMone Clark. I thought he played a good game. Now, he missed a couple of fits, but he had something like 15 tackles. He's all over the place, running around. So
we got to hit the short passes in a hurry and fire that ball. And coaches, speaking of firing, man, the offensive line, they got to fire off that ball when they snap it, because, you know, the most important hit in the game is the very first play of the game, because You smash the heck out of a guy, he's going to respect you a lot more. And he ain't going to give you all he's got because he's afraid you're going to bust him harder, you know?
I'm with you all the way. You're exactly right.
Mike always rapid fire. He'd give Barbara Walters a run for her money. I mean, he says he wants one question. He can get 3 in very quickly. We're going to take a break. Fans want to remind you to come experience the best pregame activities at TJ Riv's Tiger One Village, located in front of the PMAC between the Maravich Center and Tiger Stadium. We'll have live bands and, of course, our broadcast, LSU Game Day, presented by CST, each week before kickoff. Hope to see you there on Saturday. We'll talk about the matchup this coming weekend when we return to TJ Ribs in just a moment. It's the Ed Ogeron Show on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, the Ed Ogeron Show will return in just a few moments. So let's go ahead and go over some Twitters for a few minutes, and then we'll turn it back over to the LSU Sports Radio Network. So I'm here in the studio tonight. Okay, let's give you updates. Okay, let's put this in. Okay, once again, Big 12 presidents call was scheduled for Friday morning to formally vote on UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, and BYU to join the Big 12. So it looks like there are going to be some cuts going into the American Conference. But if you can get new teams to come to the American Conference, I think it'll be okay. Because look, UCF, a couple of years ago claimed that they were the national champions. They had the right to be in the playoffs. Same thing with Cincinnati. Cincinnati got shut. So I look at it this way: if they go join these Power 5 conferences, that will help their cases to get into the playoffs. Once the playoffs begin expanding, I think in 2025 or something like that. So once again, this is from Pete Trammell. You can follow him at Yahoo Sports. Also, let's see what else we have. Okay. We will former AAC and linebackers Tulane Zach Harris has the roofing company, so I'm glad to see Zach Harris having a life after football. So once again, this is from Fear the Wave. You can follow them at Fear the Wave on Twitter. So we'll once again we'll head back to the LSU Sports Radio Network. Only 15 minutes remaining in the Coaches Show.
Voices of college sports on Hearing Voices. Get up to speed on the Tigers' next opponent with LSU Recon, plus replays of the Ed Ogeron Show and many more. Find them all at lsusports.net/podcast, on the LSU Sports mobile app, and anywhere podcasts can be found. Subscribe today. It'll be a 33-yard attempt, hash mark right side. Kicking right to left on the dial. Atkins to hold against Skinner, the long snapper. Delivers the football. York swings the leg, and the kick is good. 24-20. Tigers cut into the Bruins lead. It's a 4-point UCLA advantage with 1:07 to go here in the third quarter of action.
A recap of last week and a look ahead for LSU Fighting Tiger football. The Ed Ogeron Show, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Tigers in the home opener coming up this Saturday, 7 o'clock kickoff. Fighting Tigers host the Cowboys of McNeese State. We'll have the coverage for you beginning at 5 p.m. with LSU Game Day. Hunt Palmer, Garrett Brumfield, former Tiger, along with former Tiger Marlon Favorite will get things started. And then Doug Morrow, Gordy Rush will join me high above Tiger Stadium for the play-by-play story, again, just after 7 o'clock. Real quick, let's go out to the LSU Sports mobile app. Coach Benji and Mamu wants to know, think you'll try and mix it up, try a different quarterback for a few plays in this game this weekend?
Can you hear me?
There
Yeah,
you
I plan on playing Garrett. I don't know when he's going to go in the game, but he's definitely going to get a chance to play against McNeese.
All right, Benji, thanks for the question. Every game has storylines. We all look for them. We all talk about them. But this one has plenty and then some. I mean, it starts, the overriding one is father and son, head coach and the quarterback on opposing sidelines. Cowboys head coach Frank Wilson and you have been friends for almost 3 decades. And even Michael Bonnet, our guy, his brother Matthew, the SID for the Cowboys football team, his father, 45 years, Lewis, I mean, is a legend over there. I mean, this thing, there's so much. I know you're concentrating on football, but, again, there's plenty we can all talk about in this matchup.
You know, McNeese is a great school. I coached there. I was a graduate assistant there. I loved it. I love the coaches there. I love the people. That's why I sent my sons there. And they've had a good career. I'm so proud of Cody. Think about this. He was the 6th-string walk-on quarterback. He started for McNeese. He's had some success. He still needs to get better at some things. He knows that. But he's going to get his graduate degree. Both my boys graduated from McNeese. So for that, I'm grateful. And, you know, Louis Bonnet was a friend of mine. They were some good guys. The guy I love beside Cody is Frank Wilson. Frank Wilson's just like a brother to me. And, you know, I hired Frank out of high school. I coached him at Nicholls State. He's a great coach. I think he's one of the best assistant coaches that's been at LSU. So he's going to do a great job at McNeese. But look, man, hey, they're going to give me their best shot, and I'm going to give them our best shot. We wouldn't expect anything different.
Last week, they had a tough outing, a complete shootout against Division II power West Florida, a team that's just come on the scene, but in a pretty good spot for recruiting at that level, and they put together a great program. The Argonauts and Cowboys, well, they slung it around the field, combining for nearly 1,000 yards of offense and a total of 78 points. I know you've watched some of the film. I saw a little bit. But McNeese really has some outstanding individual players.
Yeah, you know, I think that the RPOs that they run, they spread the ball out. They read the box. Cody has experience in the offense. Now it's his 2nd year running this offense. They can protect him. He has a quick release, and he also can scramble. And Josh Matthews is his #1 target. Outstanding receiver, a back shoulder route. They've done a good job.
You had a chance as a father, I should say, this spring. Again, the FCS moving to the spring. And the Cowboys played this season. In the game Saturday, it seemed they got behind a little bit, but I think we all can assume Frank Wilson wants a balanced offense. He certainly wants to be able to establish the run game. They had 123 yards on the ground. Do you expect them try to be balanced, or what are the offensive tendencies of this squad coming in?
Well, it's a spread offense. You know, they run the inside zone, the outside zone. They run the counter, run the quarterback lead throw. They spread out with Cody. They boot with Cody. I think they've done a good job of having him on the move. That's his strength. They've done a good job of protecting him in the pocket. Short, easy throws. I think that's what you're going to see. 50-50, 50% run, 50% pass.
I think I read earlier today, and this one stands out to me. Cody Orgeron, the quarterback for the Cowboys, has completed 91 straight passes without an interception. I may be off by a completion or two, but I'm close. That tells me 2 things. He's accurate and he's smart with the football. He's got a trio of receivers that stand out to me as well. Walker Wood, Josh Matthews, and Mason Pierce. Do the Cowboys want to stretch you in the passing game, or do they, try to attempt high percentage passes, try to pop a big play, or maybe count on a missed tackle?
All starts with their RPOs. They read the safety. The safety's in the box. They'll throw a slant right behind him. They do a good job of it. That's the offenses we're going to see nowadays, and they do take shots. They take shots down the field. I know Frank will take 2 shots a quarter, try to get the ball past our guys, get it deep, but they're based up on RPOs most of the time.
I know that, this is about LSU getting better. I mean, you've talked about it in the first 10 minutes. Hey, we're working on this. We know we have to improve in this area and this area. I have to believe that, regardless of who you're playing, whether it's McNeese State on Saturday or the 85 Chicago Bears, you're looking for LSU to take some steps forward.
Yeah, this is about us. It ain't about nobody else. Yeah, no, we understand. We understand that our back's against the wall. We lost the first game. We plan on coming out and being on fire and playing better, making improvement. You're supposed to make the most improvement from the first game to the second game. I don't care who we play. We have to play well.
I asked you earlier in the show about, the work-like mentality of your team, coming back out, putting last week behind them, and getting into the grind.
Yeah.
Mentally this week, as we sit here on Wednesday, you said you had a great practice today.
Yeah.
These guys getting after it?
They'll get after it. Yesterday was a little sluggish. Yesterday, coming out Tuesday, had to go to school. They hadn't been in school in a week. Ray Baker was out there. It was a little warm. We fought through it, but today they came out and had a lot better practice, a lot of energy. just like the Tigers should practice.
You know, one of the things that stood out to me, Coach, when I was looking at McNeese State today, and some of us may forget this, as I mentioned earlier, they couldn't play in the fall due to COVID-19. They played in the spring. And obviously there's some different personnel. Guys have moved on. But that's just a short break between, you know, last season and this season, which I think helps some continuity for this team.
It sure does. Frank gave him a good rest. You know, obviously I'm with Cody. He did a good job of giving him like 6 weeks off in the summer. Those guys got rested. They went back. They're fresh. But there is some continuity. Cody's been throwing with his receivers all summer, just like any quarterback should do. And you can tell they have their timing down.
You expect anything, and again, this goes back to you knowing Coach Wilson coming into this game. And I spent 10 years at Georgia Southern, and the Eagles would go into games where they were overmatched, just like McNeese State will be on Saturday. But there was always this sense they're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink. You better be ready for all kinds of things in the gadget bag. Do you expect that? Do you prepare for that this week?
I expect that everything that we didn't play well on film, we're going to see. No question. If Frank's a competitor, I expect him in the special teams game to run some fakes on us, maybe a surprise onside kick. We have to be alert. I think he's going to come in here with the mindset that he's going to beat the Tigers, which he should. And we're going to get everything that they have.
All right, fans, we'll take a timeout. Our last segment this week with the coach is coming up. Stay with us. We'll wrap things up right after this. The Ed Ogeron Show here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Okay, once again, Ed Ogeron Show will return in just a few moments here on, once again, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's go over some more tweets. I'm going to go through the tweets. Give me a second to put those up on the screen. Okay, let's put this in. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button. I'm trying to just hit the okay, this one from Ed Daniels. 12 pre-verification sites operating ahead of LSU's football game. Make sure you get in Tiger Stadium. So once again, if you're going to Tiger Stadium this weekend, please have your vaccine cards ready, and also your proof of your COVID test being negative. So that's it is 72 hours. So once again, that's just a constant reminder. So this is from Ed Daniels. Follow him at Ed Daniels on WGNO. Let's see what else we have before we head back to. Okay, let's give you an update on Northwestern State volleyball. Game is in set number 4. The game is tied up at 19 apiece. So that's up in Natchitoches tonight. So please follow them at NSU Volleyball. So let's see what else we could discuss before we head back to the Ed Ogeron Show here on sports, here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's see. I'm looking for something else to discuss. Looks like we'll have that. So let's go back to the LSU Sports Network and the Ed Ogeron Show.
Hey, LSU fans, did you know that Planet Fitness is the official gym?
So we're just waiting for they're not up yet. So we're just waiting for the feed to return from the LSU Sports Radio Network. So let's see what else we can discuss. I'm going to go ahead and so let's see. Looks like not much there. So, okay, once again, Florida will play South Florida this weekend. The game previews will be on College Football News. Please follow them at College Football News. That's College Football News. So we'll return to the Ed Ogeron Show here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Bourbons at retail prices and bourbon beginners who want to expand their understanding of bourbon's unique culture and heritage. Email cheers@rouses.com and sign up today to learn more about bourbon brands as well as other whiskeys like Scotch. That's cheers@rouses.com. Rouses, official supermarket of LSU Athletics.
1st and 10, now at the Bruin 45. Again, pressure comes, throwing near side. Catch going to be made at the 30. Taking away is Butte. Slips a tackle down the sideline. He's in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wrapping up this week's visit with Coach O, this is the Ed Orgeron Show, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
7 o'clock Saturday night. Tiger fans, we expect to see you there full capacity. It will be a great spectacle as the Tigers return home for the first time this year and begin their home schedule. Coach, real quick, going out to the LSU Sports mobile app, our buddy Carl the Cat with a great question going back to special teams. What's the plan? Derek Stingley Jr., any chance he'll return punts, or is he going to strictly focus on defense and let Trey Palmer handle it?
Yeah, I think we're going with Trey Palmer, and we're going to let Derek strictly focus on defense. We were going to play him on offense, but he sustained a minor injury throughout camp, so we couldn't put him there. And for right now, he's just playing quarterback.
All right, Carl, thanks for the question. Coach, we talked about the offense for the Cowboys coming in. Defensively, I know this year just one game to watch, but as I said, just a couple of months ago, they were playing their season in the spring and have some continuity defensively carrying over from last season. What do they base out of? Where do you see their strengths from a position group perspective?
They're a nickel team, a 4-2-5 team. Isaiah Chambers was an All-American. Me and my friend Coach Manny here was watching him all season. He's got a nice pass rush. He's got a nice spin. We got to know where he's at all the time. They play hard. Obviously, they gave up a lot of yards against West Florida. I know Coach Franks will be fixing on some things there. But Isaiah Chambers is the guy to stop. He's a great rusher. He's going to be a pro.
I know this is just the second time that McNeese and LSU has played on the same field in football, but this is a team, and I'm sure a lot of people here and a lot of people listening know this. I mean, this is a team that goes and plays FBS opponents. I mean, they're used to it. And now to have a chance to come to Tiger Stadium, where most of these kids grew up and wanted to play here, I don't think they're going to be intimidated.
No way. Hey, Coach Wilson, what I needed, they're going to play their best game. We'll get their best shot. I watched the game where McNeese was playing Nebraska, had a beat. Yeah, they did a great job. Coach Manny was on that team. So we're going to play our best game. It doesn't matter what our opponent is. We got to play the LSU standard performance. We're hungry. I think you can see a team that's going to play very well on Saturday night.
All right, Coach, last thing I got for you. Last year, all of us were happy to even be playing football, but admittedly, it was just different from the atmosphere we're all accustomed to when it comes to the sport. Obviously, there's a lot of younger Tigers that haven't experienced a Saturday night in Death Valley. How pumped up, number one, are you to have the Tiger walk and slap the wind bar, come through the chute? But for the guys who haven't experienced it, do you even talk about it, or do you just say, hey, you'll just have to experience it?
No, we talk about it. That's why they came here. I mean, we take them in the stadium on recruiting visits. It's empty. We talk about it. Sometimes these guys didn't get to experience Tiger Stadium on a visit, so they never see Tiger Stadium full. But the energy that we get from the Tiger Walk, the energy that we get running out the field is a big-time advantage for the LSU Tigers. So I look forward to seeing the Tiger Walk full. I look forward to seeing the stadium full. A great night, Tiger Stadium Saturday night.
Coach, as we heard tonight, there's still a lot of fans, a ton of Tiger fans who know there are 11 games remaining on the season. You need them on Saturday. They can create that energy for your guys.
We need them. We need them full. I know they're going to be there. And, I know our fans, hey, they're going to have all day to get their mood right and have some tailgating for the first time. And Saturday night's going to be electric at Tiger Stadium.
I say it all the time. The reason you want to play here, coach here, even call the games here is because there is a ton of passion.
That's right.
About the Fighting Tigers in the state of Louisiana.
That's exactly right. That's why I love them.
All right, fans, that's going to wrap up our show tonight. Coach, as always, thank you for joining us. Thanks to seeing you here in person, and we'll see you Saturday night in Death Valley.
Thank you, everybody. Go Tigers.
All right, fans, thanks to Coach, the great staff at TJ Ribs, our straw stirring the drink back in the Capital One studios, Jeff Palermo, and to all of you for joining us. And until Saturday night from Tiger Stadium, so long, everybody, and go Tigers.
The Ed Orgeron Show, live from TJ.
Okay, once again, thanks for joining us for the Ed Orgeron Show tonight. We are gonna sign off. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on tomorrow, probably at night for Sports Talk. So we will preview Southeastern on Thursday. So everybody have a good rest of your Wednesday evening, and we'll be back tomorrow.